Are you Facebook Live?
Yeah, we're live in it now. Neil McEvoy, member of the Senedd, or still a member of the Senedd, leader of Propel, going live in Pomprenou, and with our Cardiff North candidates, Apr12, and we're here to we're at Glaswg,
Yeah.
and there's a really unfair planning development proposed. So we're here with the chair of the
West Pomprenou Action Group.
Okay, we'll flick you around,
Yeah, okay.
and so this is Rob Lee.
Yeah.
So Rob, do you want to introduce yourself?
I represent quite a lot of the residents up here, and we're really quite disturbed at what Cardiff City Planning and the developers, Edenstone Homes and United Welsh have proposed. They want to actually destroy one of our homes.
Yeah.
They want to actually take it down and build a cycle path walkway. And we are really angry about this because, you know, it's really messing up our integrity of our close. We've lived up here for nearly 30 years and we have a safe environment, but opening it up into T-Draw Road is just criminal.
So just to be clear, there's a cul-de-sac.
Yes, the cul-de-sac.
You guys have lived here for 30 years.
Yeah.
Then a housing association just comes in and says, we're going to buy this house,
Yeah.
we're going to demolish it,
Yeah.
and we're going to make sure you don't have a cul-de-sac any longer.
Yeah, that's right. And we're concerned about the safety of our children, or, you know, alleyways and cycle paths and things like that are really bringing crime. And they are really, it's just horrendous that they're doing this,
Yeah.
you know, so, yeah.
Part of the reason we've come, Rob, as well with Apr is because we want to highlight the inadequacy of planning law.
Yes.
And what we have in Propel is a policy whereby communities and residents should have a right to appeal.
Yes.
Whereas as it stands now, everything is in the hands of the developer.
Yeah.
The developer, if it gets knocked back, can appeal.
Yeah.
And then if his appeal is successful, it happens.
Yeah.
Whereas communities don't have that right of appeal. What do you make of that, Akil?
This is what we are, one of our acts in
Yeah, yeah.
the contract with Wales
Yeah.
as a Propel party.
Yeah.
We're saying that for any kind of major developments like this,
Yeah.
it should be consultations with the residents first.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
The other thing is, you've just said it's an alleyway. To be very honest, from my own experience in real estate,
Yeah.
yes, it's one of the major concerns for people for crime
Yeah.
and hiding things behind this. We've been to another place, other side of Cardiff.
Yeah.
They have similar problem,
Yeah.
but you know it's been done. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
now in here, I know this area quite well.
Yeah.
One of my relatives lives on the other side.
Yeah.
So and one of our friends lives here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a really tight, controlled area by the residents.
Yeah.
It's lovely, children playing outside.
Yes.
You know, I can now imagine if, I mean, to open an alleyway in here is going to be a nightmare for
It's
the
gonna be a
residents.
nightmare for them.
Yeah, and
I think you're right. The planning. Yeah, I think that you're right. The planning law does need to change.
Akil, if you can
Yeah.
Yes.
maybe hold the mic so we can all
Yeah.
yes.
join in.
Yeah, the planning law does need to change
I'll get ahead.
because we get letters and they've been, Cardiff City Planning been very poor in sending us letters and informing people
Yeah.
When it's too late.
when it's too late. But also the planning law, this should have never gone to planning.
Yeah.
Never gone to planning. We should have had consultation
Of course,
beforehand.
yeah, yeah.
And planning law has really got to change then
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
this.
yeah, totally,
You know, when it affects communities,
Yeah.
when it affects the integrity of our cul-de-sac and our way of life, that is horrendous. And this planning law in Cardiff has got to change.
Yeah.
You know,
Luckily, I say luckily, we've got a Welsh Parliament and
Yeah.
we can actually change laws ourselves.
Yes.
And we control planning.
Yeah.
So I've been saying, I'm here now, it's 2021. Believe it or not, Rob, since 2009,
Yeah.
I've been saying we need to change planning law.
Yeah.
It's highly undemocratic.
Yeah.
The developers just do what they want. And I'll just explain here to viewers, as we're walking around now, I can see signs in almost
Every house.
every house.
Yeah,
So this is
yeah.
a massive issue for this community here.
Yeah.
One other thing, let's just get around this car.
Yes, yeah.
One other thing we want as well, Rob, is
Yeah.
community referenda. So
Yeah.
which are binding. So if there's a really big issue which affects a community,
Yeah.
then you guys should have the right to vote on it.
Yes, we should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we favour and prepare, we're a brand new party. We've literally been going 5 weeks
Yeah.
because we were snookered by the Electoral Commission. we believe in direct democracy, we believe in participation, and too much is done by politicians, whether they be in Westminster, whether they be in Cardiff, they're too distant. You know, they don't live in the streets. They don't.
I'm sorry, Neil.
Yeah.
You never see them in the streets. You never see them coming here, talking to people about the problems they have. Neil is well known for this. Neil has been going around to see people's problems.
Yeah.
And
I'll tell you what I want to say as well, though, Akio.
Yeah.
It's just over the way. Maybe we could do a live at another time.
Yeah.
It's an oasis. I was there earlier. It's an oasis.
Yes.
Trees, birds, wildlife,
beautiful.
and they're going to build on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me just show people. I don't know whether we're allowed to show the house.
Yes, okay, it's been in the press.
Okay, it's been in the press. Just
Maybe
swing
just
around.
tilt
Swing
it a
around.
bit.
Just let's go up there.
We were quite pleased that the Daily Mail took it up.
Oh, the Daily Mail, right. So wait there. So I'll keep the car out. There's no identification. But it's just, you've got a regular family house there. It's going to be demolished, and residents are going to lose their quality of life.
Yeah.
Want to take your mic, Akil?
We have other
We're
residents.
going to meet a few of the other residents.
We have other residents who they strongly object to this. And
So we've got Rob here and Vaughan.
oh, hello. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Yeah.
If I could stand with the mic so we can get in and.
Yeah, we just been talking with the chairman that the residents in this area strongly object to what they proposed, and Neil, the chairman, party leader for Propel, is one of the people who they take these things seriously. So, what is your, objections yourselves as a family?
As a family, obviously, we're most concerned about the security and the well-being of people in this area, especially the children, as at the moment they can play safely out in the street.
Of course.
And obviously, that's our big concern, really.
Yeah. And lady, maybe?
Hi.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's the privacy of everything. And, at the end of the day, when we bought our house 25 years ago, we bought in a cul-de-sac.
Yes.
If somebody said they're going to flatten a house and it's no longer a cul-de-sac, we just wouldn't have believed
You wouldn't
they
have,
could do
yes.
something like that.
Yes.
And, we just totally object to it,
Yeah, great.
Well, if Propel are prepared to push this through the government, we would certainly support you, because people that we need to take action on this, on the planning. We should have never got to planning, and we really criticised planning, Cardiff City Planning, for accepting this proposal without any real consultation with us guys.
Yes.
It's just appalling that we've had to spend time and money, we've had to raise legal actions and things like that just to defend this, and that has really cost us a lot of money.
Yeah.
And not to mention the mental anxiety for
course,
people.
yeah.
Some people are absolutely beside themselves here with worry about it. There's people, women in this street that live on their own. There's people older than myself. And it's just the whole. It's just so unnerving for us all, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Well,
should have never got to planning.
What we have is a contract. We call it a contract with Wales. Now,
Yes.
What we want to do, we've been realistic because we put together just 10 laws that we want to change.
We want to chase away the developers, just like my dog Sonny there. Chase away the developers, that's what I say.
That was metaphorical, guys.
Good dog. Where is he gone? Well done, Sonny.
So, what we got? We've got the contract with Wales, and we've been realistic. We want to change 10 laws, and one of the ones is we've got a Planning for Wales Act, and we want to make planning more democratic.
Yeah.
We want to give residents the right of appeal. It's not complicated.
No.
All you've got to do is legislate for it, put it through the Senate, vote on it, job done. You guys have got rights then.
Yeah.
Also, what we want is looking at what Switzerland do. They're very big on referenda. So when things happen which are going to completely alter a local community, you guys should have a vote on it.
Yes.
And it should be binding.
definitely.
If it's of national significance, clearly we can have a vote on everything.
Yes.
Okay? But
Yes.
something like this, you spent money, you've got your houses here, you've built your lives here, and some bloody housing association is going to demolish one house and take it
Just
all
to
away.
make
It's
one
wrong.
Just to say,
There's
we're
only one
not against.
person.
We're not against affordable housing.
No.
We're certainly not.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
I spend a lot of time with people in affordable housing and help them out. Socially, I do that. But we've even built 5-bedroom houses down there, and then still wanted to demolish one of our homes.
One of my expertise, I have to say, Neil probably knows, I'm in the housing sector as an estate agent.
Yeah.
But in the last 5-7 years, we've helped so many families,
Yeah.
some of them homeless.
Yeah.
So we're not saying that we are against development because of development. No, it's because of you taking away our privacy, in
And
some
our home,
ways.
one of our homes.
Yes,
It's part
one
of
of
our
our, you
community.
demolishing a house,
Yeah.
you know. If it was a normal development with everything is being done properly, then most people will
I also
agree
think
to.
as well that we actually live side by side with other
of course.
affordable housing,
Of
which
course,
are just
yes.
beyond us,
Behind us.
and
And
down
there's
to
no
the
problem.
bottom, and there isn't
So
any
there's
problem.
no, there's no problem. We have great community relationships with those people,
And they support
and they support us, and they've actually joined our campaign.
Yes.
They've signed a petition.
What would you like to say, lady? Maybe a few words? No? Well, I mean, one thing Neil picked up on the contract with Wales, when we say about consultation and planning and right of appeal, sometimes you can appeal, but they never can take it into consideration. So Neil and Propel proposing is really being able to vote, you have a percentage of your votes within the planning. Within the residents should have a percentage of the...
Present, we've got 3 minutes on the planning committee. 3 minutes
To voice our concerns.
to voice our concerns.
So maybe something for the future that every like constituency or that they should have a representative and a vote in the planning.
Yeah.
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 Proportionate.
Yes.
You know,
What we need to do is democratise Wales, because
Yeah.
things happen at a high level. It's all done corporately.
Yeah.
You guys get the rough end of it. In the west of the city, they're demolishing nearly every greenfield site and building
Yes.
on them.
Yeah.
That's where I live. And we've got no rights.
No.
And what we're about, we've only set up really because we're all just sick and tired of the way politics is run.
Yes.
And we want to do something about it.
Yes.
We're brand new. We've been going 6 weeks.
Yeah. Well, certainly you've got our support if you start to drive this through. If you start to drive this through and change planning law, because it's just destroyed our community. You know, we're all anxious. We're all, we're fearful of the future. You know, and so, but we still want to help people in affordable housing.
Of course.
But not at the expense of knocking down one of our homes.
Yes. One of the other issues we covered.
Not on greenfield sites either.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the idea, it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And it should not be built on. There are plenty of brownfield sites.
Yeah.
And
We-
I think as well, putting those people there, as one of the other guys said, they're just going to plonk those people there. There's nothing there for them.
No,
There's
it lets them down.
skills.
It lets them down.
It's
and
terrible.
even now we go to nowhere. We've got a park that's oversubscribed by almost 500 houses around here, a small little park. I mean, and they've taken away part of the amenities there as well because of
course.
COVID, which I know is, hopefully we're going to come out of. But we are suffering from those amenities as well. Now they want to put these people into our amenities instead of putting them into the Lisvane development, which it should be. They should be part of the Lisvane development.
Postcode.
Just across the road there is CF14. We
Yes.
are CF23.
23, yeah.
And this
Yeah.
is part of their great master plan of Lisvane, not Pompenny.
Yeah.
We're already a developed area.
Yes.
So
Was that the land that the government sold for 2 million and was worth 40 million?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
remember
not
that?
sure.
Should we wrap it up next?
Yeah. I mean, somebody actually talked about this. Imagine, like a valuable piece of land is sold to a developer for 1/20th probably of its price.
Yeah.
Again, this shouldn't be acceptable. That these lands, green lands, should be protected in a way that if you have any plans with what we said, consultation plus power of voting on it.
Yeah.
There was another thing we covered last week on Velindre Hospital. Same thing. We have a problem as you are part of, obviously, Cardiff North. We totally object to the site, but we don't object to the hospital itself.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
That
We
is
don't
the issue.
object. It's the site. It's not the actual development.
It's poor planning, isn't
Yes,
it?
poor planning and
Yeah.
not being able to represent people in their communities.
Should we call it? Thanks, I've got to get back to meetings.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, everyone.
everybody.
Thanks for coming down.
If you can send, I'll tweet it. If you share me the link.
Yeah, we will do, yeah.
Will you put it on your? Where will you put it on?
It's on live on Facebook now.
All right. Okay.
So if you go on my Facebook page, share it. It's there. And so we've been talking for the last 20 minutes at live. which is good. We had the dog running away. So, so you need to go and recover the dog. And I'll just do a quick piece of camera and we'll wrap up then. But we'll be in touch, and thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for coming out. We will. We are doing, definitely.
Can I send you a question after?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Okay, give me a sec. I'll just wrap it up and I'll be there now. Hi. So what we see there is a fairly. Oh, there we go. Let's get the camera back. What we have here is a fairly standard planning problem, and what we see is there is a complete lack of democracy. There is local people again in the north of the city are being trampled on. Akil Kataro, brilliant, and he's brilliant. I love him. He's fantastic. He's a fantastic candidate. He's standing for Propel in Cardiff North. Wasn't interested in party politics before. He joined us because we're not doing politics like the other parties. We're doing it differently, and he's here today speaking to residents, and he's going to be supporting them through the planning process. But what we want to do as a party is change the law. We've got a Senedd, okay, we should be bloody well using it. What we need to do is change planning law, give people rights to vote on things where it really affects local communities. That's can be done through referenda. We've got the right to do that through the Senedd, and also in terms of planning law, residents really must have a right of appeal. As it stands now, developers come in, do what they want, trample all over people with massive wallets. That is the developers. People here, everyday people are being trampled on, and we want to redress that balance. What we're here about is real justice. And on top of that, local development plans stink. They absolutely stink. As you heard there, the land just across the way, beautiful greenfield site, was sold for £2 million. It was worth 40 million. And do you know what? Nobody went to jail. Nobody was prosecuted. I don't think there are many countries in the world where, in the developed world, in the Western world anyway, where that could actually happen. But it happened in Wales. It's like a bloody, I don't know. I'm starting to swear now. So bloody, I shouldn't have said that, ma'am. If you're watching, okay, I'll think of a better word to use. Right, let me just think. It's extremely disappointing that such things happen in Wales, and I think Wales, to be honest with you, I think it's one of the most corrupt countries in Europe. It's a one-party state. It's run by the Labour Party. Labour Party cronies prosper. The politicians get in because they've got a red rosette on, and if you look at how they've let down the people in Whitchurch, actually with the Velindre, they've let down everyone because we're going to get a second-class cancer hospital. People don't realise that. There's a really, really effective Facebook campaign run by the wife of one of the top people involved with the development, and what they really failed to tell people by the Velindre was that there's no emergency provision, so people will be at risk of dying in transit if something goes wrong, and there's no surgery provision either there. So what that means is that cutting edge treatments won't be available. But to come back to this point, what we want as Propel is a change in planning law. We need a new planning act, a Planning for Wales Act, which is what we're calling it, with our contract with Wales. Take a look at the website, take a look at our contract with Wales, okay? I'll click off now. I've got to dash to a meeting. Diolch yn fawr.